Right, here we are back in the HQ, and just chopping up these on a makeshift chopping board. So you just need to probably chop them into quarters, and then they get sort of like pulverized in the chopper thing that I've got. As you can see, they are rather tiny pears. Just do not know how much juice I'm going to get out of these. Right, here we are back in the HQ, and I'm just chopping these pears up. So I'm just cutting them all into quarters. I mean, that's one of the big ones, but you can see how small these pears are. They are tiny. I haven't weighed them yet, can't find my scales. But I am quite keen to know just what the weight is and then how much juice that will produce. I've got one decent one here that's really ripe and just sort of breaks apart. One's not enough though, is it? So, like I said, I'm probably going to have to wait a few more weeks, go back and do some more scrumpying. That's the plan. Maybe find another pear tree. Oh, that's a nice one. Sorry, don't copy my chopping technique unless you want to cut your thumb off. Oops. I'm going to give these a quick wash anyway. When I'm done, I'm going to like make up a bucket of the sterilising solution. Wash it all together. Should be right. Tell you what, it's a sharp knife, this. It even cuts the stalks in two. Cut it again. That's crazy. Cut the stalk up into 3 pieces. Probably can't see that because it's almost pitch black in here. So yeah, once all these have been chopped up, so I'm going to mix up a bucket now. I'm not going to do that. I'll get it started. Get some sanitizer in there. Just chuck a little bit of this sterilizer type stuff in. Do the job. There we go. Wally. Should get rid of all the nasties, bugs, dirt, mud, bird crap, you name it. Right, I'll carry on chopping. I'm going to film the whole thing. It's just boring, isn't it? Right, so in an attempt to save some time, I've just put a load of steriliser in the water with the pears, and then I'm going to put them straight into my chopper, which is a pretty simple device. It's kind of like a couple of knives attached to a metal stick that goes through a hole in the bucket lid and then attaches to a drill. Couldn't be simpler. So let's have a little do with that. So yeah, these aren't even chopped into quarters. These are just whole pears that I'll stick in there, leaves and all. Don't particularly care. It'll all get sieved out later. Probably do. Right, so all you do is you poke the metal stick through there, get your drill on the end of it, and then whiz it up. Easy. That really brings the smell out. It smells really nice. There's almost no odour until you do this. So let's have a little butcher's look at this, see what it looks like. There you go. I mean, like I said, it's pitch so dark in it, you probably can't see it, but there's almost all chopped up there. So I'll do a tiny bit more. Oh, it's really bringing it out. That smells good. A couple of bits that aren't chopped, I'll just take them out. Don't know why they're not chopping. But yeah, the rest of it is pretty well chopped. So I'll just tip that into this sterilised bucket. Pick some leaves out. Might be a bit bitter, the leaves, I guess. Don't know. Slightly regretting my leaves and all decision. Oh yeah, that just reminds me, I was reaching in here earlier and the flipping microphone fell off and fell in the bucket. This is like an £11 microphone on eBay. I have no idea how it's still working. It was completely submerged, probably for about 15 seconds. Well, I managed to fish it out. Totally working. Very weird. So yeah, recommend. I don't know what it's called, but it was cheap and it seems to be alright. Can't believe it though. I bet if I'd bought a £150 one, it would have broken. Alright, let's have a go. It's weird because the unchopped one seems to just hang around in the middle for some reason. I don't know. I suppose as they get chopped, they get flung to the extremities, I guess. Right, so that one's done. I can't see this making much pear juice, to be honest. But you've got to try, haven't you? I'd love to try it. Right, let's stick those bits in there. Oh yeah, looking good. Actually getting there, you know, I've got like, I just see that on the camera. Probably too much rubbish in the way. There's some stuff. As like, if I level that out. Not bad, eh? Amazing. Still some that are completely unchopped. Chuck them back in there for a bit more. Guess the more chopped they are, the better, because you get a bit more juice out of them. Right, see you in the next bit. Right, so I've weighed all the pears and I've got about 8 kilos, so that's not too bad. And I also picked up a few apples as well. So there's a bit of a mix in here. There's some red ones, green ones. They're mostly eating apples. Some of them are a bit more sour than others. These are really sour. I mean, they're very red. So they look like eating apples, but gross. So I'm going to mix them in with my pear. So I'm going to make an apple and pear cider. Just so I've got something with spending my time doing. Put a few in there. And just give them a whiz up. What's he doing like this? I've got a lid on that. Yeah, it's not really working. I think I'm going to have to put it into this pocket first. I'm pretty getting. Never do too much. Something I've been wanting. And then when Yes. Have you know? Cooking the apples. Look at what you. What's going on now? Out of this. What's the point? And then you get this handle to really start winding it up when you need to. I'll tell you what, I'm getting so much juice out of this, it's unreal. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on about 7. What is it on? 6.5 litres. This one should take it up to 7. Just did not think I'd get that much out of it. Brilliant. Really, this needs like screwing onto the table or something because it does like to move around a bit. I think I'm probably scratching the worktop, but don't really care. Again, good job I'm not doing it at home, isn't it? Just not quite sure how many times to keep turning this round, and it's like I'm getting a drop out, but I don't know if it's worth it. I guess it is. Oh, 7 litres. Amazing. It's getting quite clear now. But it's kind of irrelevant because I'm mixing it in with all this really dark stuff. So yeah, I'll let that settle. I'll filter it a few times and see if it lightens up the colour a bit. That is seriously dark. Honestly, can't believe how tiny a volume this is now taking up. This is half of this thing is now just in there. That's crazy. Whoops, just chipped a bit off the cup and luckily it landed on the floor, not in my juice. That would have been rubbish. Mind you, I'm going to sieve it anyway. But yeah, it's landed on the floor. That was lucky. Christ, I'm so clumsy. Literally the most clumsy person alive. Alright, time to add more. Right, so I've read some online ingredients instructions type thing, and it's saying that it needs to start at between 1050 and 1055 on the hydrometer. So I'm basically popping the hydrometer in there and it's floating up. So there's a little bit below the red, which that's showing as about 1041. So I'm going to keep adding sugar until I get that to 1055. So I'm going to put actual sugar in it. I'm going to put this dextrose sugar in, which is a bit more for brewing. I'll just fling a bit in. Not measuring it out. I don't know what to measure out. So just chuck a bit of sugar in. I definitely want it sort of at least 1055, if not 1060, because it's not a particularly strong one. Right, let's see what happens. I'll stir that in and see where it comes to. So that's raised it a bit. That's bobbing around now at about maybe 1051 ish. I don't know, maybe about 1048. So keep going on. Alright, so that's bobbing around now at about 1060. So I'm fairly happy with that. I think that'll make maybe 1061. 1060, 1061, something like that. So that should make a pretty strong cider, hopefully. Right, I'm going to taste it now. Give this cup a bit more of a wash. Have a dip. And see how dark it is. Very dark. Right, I'm going to put a cube of ice in there. Cool it down a bit. See what that's like. Bottoms up. Whoa, that's nice. Blimey, that's really good. Yes. I mean, even if we just left it as a pear and apple juice, it's pretty good, that. Oh yeah, can't wait for that to be a cider. Alright, luckily I found some cider yeast. This was probably from about January when I made my first cider. So I'm going to tip all that in. That's a fair bit there. Oh, a bit of a lumpy bit. Oh, I don't think it needs all that. Yeah, I might save the other half. It does smell a bit funky, mind. Right, fingers crossed, that's okay. So, now it's just lid on. Nicely sterilised the little rubber bung thing. Put that into the hole. That'll do. And then get one of these airlocks. Make sure it's dead hard to properly sterilise these things. So many nooks and crannies on them now, aren't there? But anyway, just make sure there's a bit of water in it. You can see that. There's the airlock. Shove that into there. I don't need to put a heat belt around this because it's summer, so I think it'll be warm enough just to do its thing. Alright, there we go, all set up, ready to ferment. I'll have to come back in a few days, and if that yeast hasn't started, I'll get some new yeast.